Probate is the legal process here in California that your assets would have to go through to get them to your heirs or loved ones if something unexpected happens to you and you don't have the right planning in place. If all you have is a will, then typically we would need to do a probate. The process of probate really begins with, was there a will in place or no will? If there was a will, then somebody named in that will would be able to be the executor, and they would file a petition in the probate court starting this court process. In probate, everything typically freezes after we file the petition for about 3 to 4 months until we can get a hearing date. From start to finish, a very simple probate usually takes about 12 to 18 months and sometimes longer. It's a public process and it's very expensive. Here in California, we have what's called a statutory fee, which means that I open up the probate code, there's a formula that we plug in the value of the assets, and it tells me what the cost of probate will be. It works out to about 5% of the gross value. So what that means is if all the person had was a house or a condo that they could sell for $500,000, even if they have a mortgage on it, 5% will be about $25,000 would be the cost to probate just that one asset. The good news is that probate can be avoided by doing some planning in advance. Typically, the way we avoid probate is going to be with a trust. There are other ways to avoid probate, which is something that we would talk about when we sit down and talk about your specific situation and your specific assets. You may think about attempting to handle your probate without the assistance of an attorney. And I can tell you that it's a difficult process because there's so many legal requirements, and the probate court, anytime something isn't handled perfectly, then they will kick it back, they'll reject it, and you basically have to start over. So it just delays the process because most lay people have never done a probate before, and so they're not familiar with all the requirements of the court. And so it takes a lot longer, it's a lot more stressful. And I can tell you that we do get a lot of calls after someone has attempted to file a probate petition on their own, and they've found out that it is actually a lot more difficult than they initially thought it would be, and we're able to take over the case from there. We have a lot of experience with probate proceedings, and for many years now, for over 20 years, we've been handling probates for all kinds of people. Sometimes it's when there's a minor child involved, sometimes it's when there's a surviving spouse involved, or the beneficiaries, the heirs call us, and there's all kinds of different nuances to navigate. Each probate has its own specific circumstances that we're able to help navigate the beneficiaries through. The reason someone would hire our firm to be their estate planning attorney is, first off, we do everything by flat fee agreed upon in advance. That way we don't have to do hourly billing, and we can have the kind of conversation that I think is important to have with your family trust attorney. Second, we make the process as easy as possible for you. A lot of the families we work with value ease and efficiency. They're busy, and systems that we have in place are designed to make the process smooth. We typically have your planning ready for you to sign in about 4 to 6 weeks, and we have a team in place to support you along the way. Third, we really look at this as the beginning of a lifetime relationship with our firm. We have 3-year review meetings and other communications with our clients, webinars for our clients, so that we can really develop that kind of lifetime relationship. We make it really easy for you to check out what our current and past clients have said about us and the experience that they've had with our firm, and it's right on our website. Client communication is very important to us, and that's why we have a team in place so that we can better support you in terms of responding to your questions. Typically, we would get back to you within 24 hours, and we also respond by email or by chat. That way we can make sure that we're being responsive. We are a boutique style firm, which means that we're a small team that works together closely so that we can be most responsive to our clients. So what you can expect during an initial consultation for a probate is, first off, we'll ask you to gather some information in advance so that we can prepare. Did the decedent have a will? If so, we'll ask you to provide that so we can review it. And then during our meeting, we'll really start with, talking through an overview of what the probate process would look like from start to finish. We'll talk through some of the assets. We'll ask you some questions. We'll answer questions. And if you'd like us to help you through the probate process, then you would sign an engagement letter and a probate petition starting the probate process.